Hey, so I'm back again with the WINX CLUB. In the last video, I rewatched WINX CLUB Season 1 and Season 2. If you haven't already, go check that out as well. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on WINX CLUB Season 3. I'm going to mainly be talking about WINX lore and their relationship and also a lot of backstory stuff. So it's going to be a long video, so sit back and relax and enjoy. Also, subscribe to me, it helps a lot. Before we get started, I wanted to note how many plot holes there are in the entire season. So the concept of which I thought was the wings, which is definitely not copied by ALFEA or anything. We are starting off this season with one of the most greatest villain in the entire WINX Club lore, Valtor. I mean, the amount of edits I have seen in the sky and bloom is insane. We start the season off by Valtor literally opening the Omega Dimension with the TRIX and basically taking the entire andros and brainwashing them. Also on a side note, what are these creatures? Mermaids with wings, fairies with tails? So many questions. Anyways, Layla finds out about all of this, and yes, I'm gonna call her Layla, and gets depressed, and that's the end of that story because hey, Stella's having a royal ball held for her, so shopping spree. The main problem is that they always put Stella and Bloom's problem over the other girls, and it seems so annoying. Like, yeah, Stella, congrats, but one of your girls is literally getting her kingdom annihilated. Okay, yeah, later on, Valtor also takes over Solaria with these two. You gotta admit, even though Cassandra and Chimera are really bad people, they got some of the coolest designs, and then Stella gets turned into a frog. Yup, a frog. My only problem with this is that I will forever be pissed that Brandon never got to see Stella in the frog form, cause the girls used their magic so that people only saw Stella's real beauty. But I kind of feel like Brandon liking Stella even though she was a frog would have been way better than Brandon having magic on him to make him like Stella. Also, the writers of the show are so afraid to let anything bad happen to Bloom and Stella. Like all of Andros was being fought to its doom, but because Stella was turned into a frog, it was Winx's first priority to turn them back. Also, she was a frog for like 1.5 episodes, so what's the point anyways? Okay, now that my rant is over, let's talk about season 3 and how Valtor basically wanted to be a supreme wizard or something and the tricks were awing over him. I think this part of the tricks was so fun to watch because they were so self-aware throughout all of it. Like, I don't know if this was genuinely their writing or whether there was something wrong with the translation, but every time the girls fought over him, they brought up the point that they were sisters and would stop fighting over the guy and team up. Like, the girls knew that Valtor was not worth it. Yeah, they had little crushes on him, but it was smaller than their wish to kill the wings together. Also, what was going on with Valtor and Bloom? Hello? This is the whole reason why I will forever believe the WINX Club was supposed to be a dark show. It got so much more darker in season 3 as compared to 1 and 2. But imagine how nice it would be to have Bloom and her evil side again with Valtor. They would have been a power couple. But yeah, season 3 was so much more darker and it was quite impressive how a kids show with color coordinated fairies would have a lore so deep and dark. Also, talking about the tricks, the whole segment at the Witch's Tower deserves some reward. I mean, it's just so cool. I will die on this hill, but the Witch's Tower was so much more fascinating and had so much more power and magic than ALFEA. If it wasn't for the whole witch drama, we could have gotten so much more from the Witch's Tower as well. One other thing is that we got a tons of backstory this season, and one of them was about Professor Griffin, and how she and Valtor were a thing back then, but she backed out and formed the Circle of Light, not to be confused with the Light Circle. Anyways, she was a baddie. Now we're reaching the main part of the season, Enchantrix. This is what Headmistress had to say about Enchantrix. Yup, it's the last fairy form. It's certainly the last one. Basically, Enchantrix was a fairy form that you could achieve by sacrificing something in your own dimension. That's like the key point. The first one to gain their Enchantrix were Layla and Stella and Andros and Solaria respectively. But their sacrifices weren't that huge. Even though they were big, they were nothing as compared to the next few. Musa had to literally jump in the fire to save her kingdom's princess to get her Enchantrix. And let's talk about Flora's Enchantrix, shan't we? We go to her home kingdom where we found out she has a little sister. Flora literally gave her life to save his sister, by the way, and it was the only way that she got her enchantrix power, but nothing, and I mean nothing, comes closer to the power gain as the one that Techna got, and she deserved her enchantrix the most. Our underrated queen Techna literally closed the Omega dimension by entering it and sealing herself shut to save Andros. Girl gave up on her life and got her enchantrix. But there's only one problem with this. The enchantrix is given to the people for sacrificing something or helping someone in their own dimension. That's literally one of the reasons why Bloom couldn't get her enchantrix, because Domino didn't exist anymore. Then how did Techna gain enchantrix, knowing that she wasn't in her own dimension unless Techna is from Andros? Except for that little detail, the way the girls were able to gain their enchantrix was so special, and how Bloom had to force her enchantrix instead, and it not working properly made so much sense. Bloom genuinely having problems and not having everything handed to her is nice. Anyways, I think it's a unanimous decision throughout all the WINX fandoms that the style for the enchantrix transformation is the best one. I mean, look at these designs, they're amazing. Look-wise, I really enjoyed this series, of course. Something felt a little rushed, like the water stars and other stuff, but all in all, lore-wise, it's a solid 9 out of 10. Then there's the question of fashion. The girls changed their outfits more in this season, and of course with the Enchantrix, I would have to give it at least a 8.5 out of 10. So that being said, the number of what the WINX in this season are, drumrolls please. Wow, that's a lot of plot holes. Also, PS, I know these are not all the plot holes. There's so many more. These are just the major ones that I particularly saw. Even though season 3 is considered the best WINX Club season, which I fully agree with by the way, it still has its own flaws, and of course nothing can be perfect, but these are some of the things that I noticed, and all of this is just jokes by the way, don't take it so seriously. This will be forever my favorite show, and if you made it so far into the video, leave a comment down below that Techna is my underrated queen. Also, please tell me if you want me to make more of these. Also subscribe as well, it helps out a lot. Anyways, bye!